Oh hey, it's been a long time, but look, I'm back. Everything's okay now. Shh. Shut your mouth.
I'm Miley Cyrus.
And I'm Wood from BeatEmUps, and I just broke my Miley Cyrus line for this video, so let's hope it's good. Castlevania, let's go! My name's Wood, and I absolutely hate doing reviews, so I'm going to leave this entire review to my friend while I sit on my fat ass and I play not even the Castlevania game that we're reviewing because I don't have that one.
I can't believe that Wood told me he was going to help me do this review, and he doesn't even have the game. He doesn't even have the game. I should have figured. He's Australian. Of course he'd have everything ass backwards. Now it's up to me. It's all on me now. Fortunately for you guys, I'm not as irresponsible as Wood. Time to boot this game up that I totally absolutely have.
Castlevania Dracula X.
Transylvania, the Middle Ages. An evil darkness had befallen the land, giving rise to sinister vampire legends. Until now, the people of Transylvania had grown accustomed to their peaceful existence, secure in the knowledge that their famed hero, Simon Belmont, had sealed the fate of Count Dracula several hundred years prior. Wicked townsfolk, possessed by the darkness, conspired to revive the King of Blood. Dracula, now undead once more, decided to be an enormous dick and exact revenge upon the family that destroyed him. So he went after Richter Belmont, who had nothing to do with it. The Prince of Evil viciously attacked the town with his unholy legion. He snatched away Richter's girlfriend Annette and her sister Maria. Imprisoning them in his vile castle, he lies in wait for Richter to attempt to rescue. Richter, burdened by his destiny, left for Dracula's castle with his legendary ancestral whip. The determination to save his loved ones and the resolve to send Dracula to eternal damnation once and for all. As soon as the first level begins, you get hit in the face with gorgeous visuals and bitchin' music. And some skeletons with scoliosis. Now, pretty much every Castlevania game starts off with perfect entry music during the first stage. But this one, just listen. If that opening track doesn't get you ready to slay some vampire ass, well then I'm not sure much else will. The game also features remakes of a few old and very recognizable Castlevania tunes, which in my opinion sound really good. Now, I really love the art style that they chose. The flames in the background look great and make everything really come alive. My favorite thing, though, is the color palette that they chose for Richter Belmont. They made his sprite a very bold blue that really pops and makes him stand out from the other Belmonts in previous titles.
I'm absolutely playing the game that we're reviewing right now.
Now, as far as the controls go, I like that they reverted back to the old-style game mechanics, i.e. being able to only whip in one direction, and having a, for the most part, fixed in-air descent. Some might disagree and say it's taking a step back, but I feel it adds a layer of challenge and character to the game, instead of just being able to whip and jump all willy-nilly. You wouldn't be able to control yourself in midair in real life anyway. Richter also has this backflip, which can be used to dodge incoming attacks, and is performed by double-tapping the jump button, but I personally could never get it to work properly, so I never really used it.
It's so much fun! I like it when the main character does the thing that he does.
This game gets a lot of flack for being a watered-down version of another Castlevania game called Rondo of Blood. While that game may technically be superior, I played this one first and it's still one of my favorite Castlevania games. People seem to make the mistake of comparing them side by side instead of taking it for what it is, a fun game with great atmosphere. Back in the 90s, I highly doubt that any of us had the opportunity to play a PC engine, so this is what we got. Quit your bitchin' and just be happy we got anything at all. One cool thing about this game is that it has branching paths which take you to completely different levels in Dracula's castle. One of them being almost fucking impossible to avoid, but must be avoided if you want to get the best ending. That ending is achieved by rescuing Annette and her little sister Maria. Although in Rondo of Blood you actually get to play as Maria, and she's completely OP. To do this, you have to collect a key in Stage 3 and use it on a locked door in Stage 4. The key takes up your item spot, so you have to not fucking die at all. This can be extremely infuriating, because unless you're incredibly good or incredibly lucky, you'll spend a shit ton of time resetting the game and typing in the password to start the stage over. Unless, of course, you're not above emulating or being a big old cheater pants, in which case I would just suggest using save states. I normally don't say this, but the ending really isn't even worth it. One downside to this game definitely has to be some bullshit cheap enemy placement, namely the bitches with the spears and the fish dudes. As a seasoned Mega Man Classic player, I'm all for stage hazard and enemy memorization, but a lot of the placement they chose is just downright unfair. The Spear Knight's hitbox is enormous, and they seem to love to place them near an edge where it's almost impossible to land a hit without leaving yourself open. The fucking fishmen also drive me insane and always seem to pop up in completely unnecessary places. Hey! Hi! What's up? How you doing? I will admit that they bothered me in the first Castlevania as well, but in this one it's just too much. Don't even get me started on that crumbling path bullshit. I hate literally everything about things like this. Stop doing this. It's not fun. All it does is make me clench till it hurts and gives me heart palpitations.
I could play this game with both eyes closed. It's so easy. I'm beating it right now.
One really cool thing that's new to Dracula X is an attack called the Item Crash. You can attack all the enemies on the screen with a barrage of whatever item you currently have. It uses a good amount of hearts, but it's really helpful in tight spots and pretty much necessary for the final fight against Dracula. The final fight against Dracula. What the Why? Why even do this? If there was ever an unpredictable spike in difficulty to complain about, this is it. This is easily one of the most difficult incarnations of Dracula in any Castlevania game, right up there with Dracula's Curse. And to make matters worse, the developers felt that it was necessary to decorate literally half the arena with bottomless fucking pits. Which means you'll spend lots of time dying due to cheap knockback, which immediately makes this entire fight an enormous load of cheap horse shit. And you know what? I could forgive all of it. And accept the unrelenting difficulty and grueling longevity of this fight, if it wasn't for the fact that if you lose all of your lives, you start back at the beginning of the level. Why? Why couldn't they just start you off right outside of Dracula's lair like in all of the previous titles? This is unforgivably frustrating and unfair, and it doesn't help that Dracula's movements are randomized, making it impossible to remember his patterns. If by some miracle you do manage to defeat Dracula's first form, spam the absolute shit out of your item crash after his transformation, because his second form, while easier to wail on, makes it even harder to avoid cheap deaths by knockback. Now, if you somehow acquire the skills of an Asian child or the patience of a saint, sit back and enjoy a somewhat lackluster ending. With those unfortunate flaws aside, though, I still think this is a great game. There's gotta be a reason why, even after all the things I've mentioned, it's still one of my favorite games in the Castlevania franchise. This game has flaws, but fortunately, they're not big enough to be a turd in the punch bowl. Or perhaps I just have bad taste. Play it for yourself and make your own opinion. If nothing more, it's at least worth giving a chance. Just don't go play Rondo of Blood and then compare the two side by side. That's dumb.
I hope you enjoyed this review and you come back for more. I actually really enjoy this channel. It's almost as sexy as I am. I would highly recommend you subscribe to this channel because he deserves a lot more subscribers. If you don't subscribe to this channel, then what's the point of me being so sexy on my channel all the time? If you don't subscribe to this channel, I'm gonna stop being sexy on my channel. I'd have to stop doing a channel because I can't not be sexy, and you don't want that. So subscribe, and thank you. I absolutely hate reviewing games because I can never put words into my mouth that sound good. I just like to play games and enjoy them. That is why I never do reviews, ever. I kind of hate you for making me do this.